Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Rooftop Perspectives. I am telling you, I'm on a roll right now. The sun is beautiful. And when I got up here to do a little video, I did one and I went downstairs and I said, wait a second, the house is so dark. Let me come back up here and enjoy myself. And in my research period today of looking at different stories, things of interest that I may find an angle on, I said, you know what? Why can't I do it up here? Kill two birds with one stone and get more sun while I am working. Why not? It's a good thing. Plus you get to see the little background of what's going on as the cars drive by. It's a little boring inside that you never see. So I said, let me do it this way. So I'm looking around at different stories, getting a finger on the pulse of what's going on in the so-called mainstream world. And I'm digging deep for other things in local newspapers across the world. And just different stuff. My spirit leads me this way, and it's an enjoyable period for me. Again, I'm not a reporter, but if I'm going to talk on YouTube, I'm going to talk on things that people find important and maybe find my own angle unique. If I can't do it, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be a talking head and talk like everybody else just to report something. There's enough of those people doing that, and they're getting paid, and I'm not. So this is my hobby. This is what I do. I found another story here, I think it was from like 2 or 3 days ago, about tennis star Naomi Osaka, right? I like that name, Naomi Osaka. It just flows off of the tongue. Naomi Osaka, right? What was that, Tom Club? Genius of Love, a Genie of Love, or whatever. And then at the end, Osaka. I remember that part there. That was a hit too. That used to rock. Anyway, out of the New York Post, here it is. I'm gonna read a few paragraphs out of this. They have a whole lot of pictures, so as I scroll up, I might hit it and knock myself out the story. But let's give it a shot. The 25-year-old tennis star is expecting her first child. She announced in a note on social media Wednesday, which included a photo of a sonogram. Osaka has been dating American rapper Cordae since 2019. The past few years have been interesting to say the least, but I find that it's most challenging times in life that may be the most fun, Osaka wrote. These few months away from the sport has really given me a new love and appreciation for the game I've dedicated my life to. I realize that life is so short and I don't take any moments for granted. Every day is a new blessing and adventure. She sounds like me. She must be looking at Rooftop Perspectives. I know that I have so much to look forward to in the future. One thing I'm looking forward to is for my kid to watch one of my matches and tell someone, that's my mom. Osaka says she plans to return for the Australian Open in 2024. Now here's where it gets iffy. I got to get past these pictures. Okay. 2023 will be a year that will be full of lessons for me, and I hope I'll see you guys at the start of the next one, because I'll be at Australia in 2024. Love you all infinitely, Osaka wrote. Side note, I don't think there's a perfectly correct path to take in life, but I always felt that if you move forward with good intentions, you'll find your way eventually, she added. Osaka announced her pregnancy 4 days after the Australia Open, confirmed that she withdrew from the 2023 competition, which begins on January 16th. The former world #1 last played at the Toray Pan Pacific Open in Tokyo in September. Osaka won an opening round match against Daria Saville via retirement before she withdrew, citing abdominal pain ahead of her second round match with Beatrice Haddad Mia. In her pregnancy announcement, Osaka made no mention of Cordae, who has yet to address the news. The Grammy-nominated rapper finished a Euro tour in October of 2022, marking his first ever headline tour. The couple, which is fairly private about their relationship, were first seen at a Clippers game in 2019. A year later, Osaka said Cordae stopped everything to quarantine with her at the US Open after she FaceTimed him from the event, saying she was feeling sad and lonely in the bubble. I think there's a little bit more. Bunch of photos though. We were dating for almost a full year before people knew about us, Cordae told GQ in a joint interview with Osaka in February 2021. So we kind of move very reclusively. We don't really post intimate moments because I feel as though they're sacred. A relationship is a sacred thing. Once you let outside influences get into it, it becomes less sacred. Trust me, we know. We know. People are always pushing their nose up in your sugar honey iced tea. Osaka made headlines in 2021 for opening up about her mental health struggles. She withdrew from the French Open after first saying she would not do press conferences at the Grand Slam. Osaka then skipped Wimbledon last July, saying at the time she had suffered long bouts of depression since winning her first Grand Slam in 2018. There's a lot to that. All I say right now is that, you know, I don't know exactly what sponsorship she's getting. I don't know what she's getting. But I know years ago, with certain periodicals that I would have to dig down deep in, there was a controversy about her race. And some people will say, oh, it's the human race. But people wanted to know. And I know many of you will remember, because I think I mentioned this when she mentioned her mental health issues, and I spoke on it, but I want to speak on it a little more. Okay, she's pregnant. She's 25 years old. Her brain has finally developed, because they say between 25 and 30, your brain is fully developed. She has money, she has fame, she had mental health issues, but who wouldn't have mental health issues at those younger ages when you have money and the fame and the pressure to perform? So I don't think it's anything super major, but I'm glad she addressed it and brought it to the public, and I wish most of us who are feeling stressed and have mental health issues, it doesn't mean you're crazy, it means you need a tune-up. Because there's a lot of pressure hitting us from the outside in this world, and you've got to develop the strength and fortitude to have enough strength to push out equally, or more so, what's coming at you from the outside world. And many of us don't do that. We play pretend until we implode, instead of sharpening our sword and building ourselves up. And if you heard the beautiful things that she said about life and keeping her relationship sacred, that's going to be something that she probably learned from other people, and maybe that had something to do with it. Because I think someone heckled her at one of the games, and it bothered her a whole lot, and that's what kind of set her off into reevaluating her life and what she needs to do for herself. So I think she's in a rock solid place. But the people around her and the entities around her, her father is Haitian, right? Father is Haitian. They said Haitian. That's a nationality, that's a country. Didn't say what race he was. But if you come from Haiti, chances are you're an African. But they never say that, right? They never ever say that. They keep things generic right now, right? The thing is that the articles that I wrote question Japan, mainstream media, how is she viewed? I still ask the question, is she accepted by those in the Japanese community, in the Japanese culture, nationality? Well, she took on her mother's name, Osaka, and they said that she took on her name because it would be easier for her to get an apartment and to get into certain schools when she was younger. So they rode with the Japanese side. They kind of, you know, if we invite a little bit of that melanin in here, we may have more explaining to do, and on paper it looks a certain way, and we can just act like you're a kind of dark Japanese person. They didn't say that. That's me saying that. So they were very much aware of how things are in the world. Trust me. Because Japan and the Japanese culture, whether you know it or not, I love my sushi. I love some Japanese things. But Japanese people traditionally at the core do not like black people. I'm not saying all of them, but any of you who are Japanese American, who have any connections back to the old school Japanese way of thinking, you'll be lying if you say I'm saying something different. And I'm not trying to start anything. I'm not trying to dig anything up. But what effect will this have on her endorsements now that she is pregnant from another black man? Right? She's pregnant from a black man. Kind of shows you what she leans to no matter what, right? Will this affect her endorsements? Will this anger those in the Japanese community who maybe were hanging on the thread to support her because she was half black? She's black. I'm saying half black for the sake of the tabloids and what they say. They're not going to say it. So it's like you have to choose a side. Like, one side of me is Japanese and one side of me is this way. We understand she's a human being. But whatever the father and mother... Look, I want to address a comment that was made on... I forgot what video it was. It was the stupidest comment I ever heard. It was on one of the ambience videos, right? And they basically said something about, yes, this is why white people are connecting with black people, so they want to whiten out the black race. Listen, you're not going to take nothing recessive and whiten out nothing. Even when you lay with us and some of you come out mixed with our blood and DNA and a little bit more melanin, you are being blacked out. The ultimate color, the beginning color of everything is black. Even with artwork, even with the whole color thing, everything comes out of black. You don't get black out of white. So you may mix for a little while and preserve your presence here for a little while, but you know what? You're out of here. The more of us you blend with, especially when you're a minority on the planet, 9% of the population. So you mean you're going to mate with something blacker and you're going to boost your numbers? Well, now we're 50% of the population because we mix with black people. No, you'll be 3%, 2%, 1%, and we'll have a museum documenting your presence that when you once walked the earth just like the dinosaurs. Oh, wow. That's what a white person looks like? Wow. I wonder what it looked like now. Really? I don't. And how the sun don't like you, your recessive genes. You ain't whiting out nothing to that person. You're delusional if you thought that and said that. Right? But again, back to the original thing, Naomi Osaka. How is the world going to look at her? They're now going to come at her that she has a black man as the father, that she's been with him for years, that she's dedicated to him, and we know how the system does not want black love to shine out. So they're going to paint her as just Japanese, but they're not going to write that the black man is there. And eventually, not to be a doomsayer, the powers that be are not going to want to see them last forever. They're going to want to catch him in a scandal to get him away from her so he doesn't get his hands on her money that they think that they supplied to her. We let you have a pass with the little black side you have, but don't act like black. You better stay away from it. You know, that's the unwritten rule. So will they, over the years, love her as they would their own and say that there's no racial issues going on in the world like so many who are delusional do? Or will they go through the same tried and true thing that black love is not acceptable on any terms? And there'll be people who go, oh, she's not black. She's not black. No, she's not black. But what color was the dick that she came out of? And evidently he must have been doing something right because the Japanese mama opened up her legs. I'm sorry to be so lewd. And then she goes and messes with a black man that may have to suppress his blackness. He can't be militant. They can't catch him with any Final Call magazine, Nation of Islam magazine, anything pro-black. They don't want to catch, and they probably look for him to hang him like they did Kyrie Irving and go after Kanye West. They may find one little thing in his past. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Take my rap career away. Split me up from Osaka. Well, you know Osaka, Naomi, he said these things. You can't be with him. He can't have any of the money that we're helping to supply you. I'm speaking in general terms. It's just thoughts I'm thinking about. Everything's hunky-dory now. They better live a quiet life. Don't let these tabloids, don't let something happen where they have a fight. They'll be looking for it in public, some minor whatever, and they'll blow it up out of proportion and try to come after them. They're making money. They're black. She has a Japanese, culture connection, but the daddy's black. And trust me, they'll let them ride for a little while. But in my book, it won't be long before they put the scope on them. These niggas are making too much money. We got to stop it. Anyway, that's my word. Salute to my brothers. Much love to my sisters. I always speak from the hip and tell like it is. Even if I'm wrong, I'll come back and say, hey, I was wrong. But that's how I feel right now. You notice me look at my lips? My lips are getting dry. I gotta wet them up. I'm getting thirsty and dried out like a prune in the sun. It is a beautiful day. African sun, nothing beats it. You gotta try it sometime. Anyway, much love to you all. Mwah. LanceScurv out. Subscribe, like, and leave your comment. Love or hate me, I know you're watching. Peace.